Are you over 60 and doing everything right, eating well, staying active, yet still battling stubborn weight gain, low energy, or creeping inflammation? You are not alone. What if I told you there is a seemingly innocent spice many regard as a miracle, turmeric, that under certain circumstances, especially past 60, can become a hidden threat when combined with the wrong foods? Today, I want to show you why over 60, you should never eat turmeric together with these three specific foods, because the interactions can undermine your metabolism, disrupt hormones, and in some cases lead to serious health problems. Here's what's really going on inside your body as you age. Your liver's detox pathways slow, your metabolic flexibility weakens, your gut barrier becomes more fragile, your hormone levels shift, and oxidative stress creeps up. In short, your body's tolerance for what used to be healthy combinations changes. A spice that's anti-inflammatory for many may, with the wrong companion foods, stress your liver, impair nutrient absorption, or amplify negative interactions. Many people assume natural equals always safe, but in the aging body, that is a dangerous assumption. This topic matters because your metabolic health, energy, weight, and longevity all depend not merely on which foods you eat, but on which foods you pair together. A beneficial compound like curcumin in turmeric can turn problematic if mismanaged. If you want to age strong, lean, energetic, and resilient, you must learn the context, what to avoid, and when. In this speech, I will cover 6 science-backed insights about turmeric interactions in the over 60 body. You will learn why absorption and metabolism of turmeric already become fragile with age, how turmeric interacts with certain foods to amplify risks, not benefits, 3 foods you must avoid combining with turmeric after 60, the underlying physiology of these harmful interactions, how to use turmeric safely, timing, doses, and pairings, practical protocols and red flags to watch for in your body. By the end, you will have clear, rooted tools, not just what to avoid, but how to continue gaining turmeric's benefits safely in your 60s, 70s, and beyond. If this is helpful so far, consider subscribing. I share content like this every week to help you take control of your metabolic health. Now, let us begin with the foundation: how aging changes your body's handling of turmeric. Why more is better is a dangerous myth, and where the risks really lie. Here is what is really going on inside your body as you move past 60. Every decade after your 40s, the liver, your body's main detox and metabolic command center, loses roughly 10% of its enzymatic capacity. These enzymes, known as phase 1 and phase 2 detox enzymes, are the ones responsible for breaking down everything you eat, including turmeric's active compounds, such as curcumin. When your liver enzymes slow down, the way your body metabolizes curcumin changes dramatically. In your 20s or 30s, the liver can process turmeric efficiently, turning it into beneficial metabolites that reduce inflammation and support antioxidant defense. But by your 60s, that same process can become sluggish. The curcumin may linger longer in your system, especially if you consume it with rich or oily foods, which forces the liver to work harder. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Think of your liver as a water filtration system. When it is new, the filter is clean and water flows freely. Over time, sediment builds up. The flow slows and impurities start to leak through. Turmeric, when processed by a younger liver, is filtered smoothly into anti-inflammatory molecules. But when the filter is older or clogged by fatty deposits or medication residues, the same turmeric can overwhelm the system, leading to toxic buildup or slowed detoxification. What research shows is that aging changes both the absorption and the elimination of curcumin. A study published in the Journal of Nutritional Biochemistry found that older adults have significantly lower bile flow and reduced glutathione activity, 2 crucial elements that help the liver manage compounds like turmeric. Low bile means the curcumin cannot dissolve and move efficiently, while low glutathione means the liver cannot neutralize its byproducts as effectively. Another important factor is fat metabolism. Turmeric is fat-soluble, meaning it needs healthy fats for absorption. However, the challenge for older adults is that the body's ability to digest and emulsify fats declines due to lower bile acid production. If you take turmeric with heavy saturated fats or fried foods, the curcumin gets trapped in the fat globules and absorbed too aggressively, potentially leading to nausea, gallbladder irritation, or even liver enzyme elevation in sensitive individuals. So, what can you do? Here's a simple science-based protocol. If you are over 60, take turmeric or curcumin supplements with a light, plant-based fat source, such as half a teaspoon of extra virgin olive oil or a few slices of avocado. Avoid pairing it with heavy animal fats like butter, cheese, or red meat. These slow digestion and create a higher metabolic load on the liver. Another key is timing. The liver's detox enzymes are most active in the morning hours, so taking turmeric earlier in the day rather than late at night can help your body clear it efficiently. Always drink enough water afterward. Hydration supports bile movement and helps prevent stagnation. And a quick reminder, if this information is helpful so far, consider subscribing. I post content like this every day to help you understand what is really happening inside your body and how to use food as medicine safely and intelligently. Now that we have established how aging changes the way your body processes turmeric, let us look at the next layer, how specific food combinations can actually turn this healing spice into a metabolic stressor. Turmeric does not work in isolation. Every time you eat it, it interacts with the other nutrients, enzymes, and compounds in your meal. For most younger people, the body's detox and digestive systems are resilient enough to handle minor mismatches. But after 60, when liver function, bile production, and insulin sensitivity have already declined, certain food pairings can magnify inflammation, interfere with nutrient absorption, and even change how your medications behave. Here is what the research shows. Curcumin, the active compound in turmeric, is metabolized primarily in the liver and intestines through a process called glucuronidation. This process attaches a small molecule to curcumin, helping your body eliminate it safely. But this detox route can be disrupted by foods that either suppress or overstimulate the same enzymes. When that happens, turmeric's normally beneficial compounds can build up to unhealthy levels, especially in an aging liver. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Imagine your body as a two-lane highway. One lane is for processing turmeric, the other for digesting your meal. If both lanes get crowded at once, say when you eat turmeric alongside a heavy or reactive food, traffic slows down, waste piles up, nutrients are not delivered efficiently, and your body ends up inflamed and tired. So, which foods cause that traffic jam? Let us take a closer look. First, high-fat animal foods. Foods like butter, ghee, red meat, and high-fat dairy may seem harmless in moderation, but when combined with turmeric, they create a heavy digestive load. The fats slow gastric emptying and force the liver to overproduce bile to emulsify both the fat and the curcumin. In older adults, that bile production is already reduced. The result is poor turmeric metabolism, bloating, or even gallbladder stress. Second, fermented or pickled foods. These are rich in organic acids and salt. When eaten alongside turmeric, they can alter the pH in the stomach and intestines, changing how curcumin is absorbed. Research in the Journal of Food Science and Technology found that acidic conditions significantly degrade curcumin, reducing its bioavailability and sometimes forming unstable byproducts that can irritate the gut lining. For someone with an aging digestive system, that irritation can worsen intestinal permeability and lead to immune reactivity. Third, iron-rich foods, especially heme iron from animal sources like liver or beef. Curcumin can bind to iron and interfere with its absorption. This means that if you already have borderline anemia or iron deficiency, eating turmeric with iron-rich foods might block the iron uptake you need. On the other hand, if you have too much stored iron, which is common in older men, curcumin can actually release free iron, increasing oxidative stress. Both extremes can be harmful. To visualize this, picture curcumin as a magnet. When you pair it with iron, it can pull that iron away from where your body needs it or release too much into circulation. Either way, it becomes an oxidative problem, not an anti-inflammatory solution. Here's the safer approach. Take turmeric between meals or with light, non-acidic foods, such as cooked vegetables, lentils, or a bit of olive oil and black pepper. Black pepper contains piperine, which enhances curcumin absorption naturally without overloading the liver. Avoid combining turmeric with fatty meats, pickled sides, or iron-heavy dishes. In simple terms, turmeric loves balance. Give it a clean, calm, digestive environment, and it will act like a powerful anti-inflammatory ally. Combine it with the wrong foods, and it becomes another metabolic stressor that your older body does not need. Here is where things become very practical. If you are over 60 and you regularly use turmeric, whether in your cooking, in golden milk, or as a supplement, there are 3 specific foods you should avoid pairing with it. These are not random dietary cautions. Each one disrupts turmeric's metabolism in a unique way that can burden your liver, irritate your gut, and interfere with your hormones. Let us go through them carefully. Number 1, fatty meats and high saturated fat animal foods. This includes foods like bacon, sausages, butter, ghee, and marbled red meat. At first glance, you might think fat is good for turmeric because it helps absorption. And that is true. Turmeric is fat soluble. However, in the aging body, the problem is not absorption, it is clearance. After 60, bile flow decreases by up to 50%. The liver struggles to process both the saturated fat and the turmeric simultaneously. What happens next is something few people talk about. Turmeric's compounds circulate longer than they should, forcing the liver to re-metabolize them. This can lead to a buildup of inflammatory byproducts and elevated liver enzymes in some individuals. A clinical study in Frontiers in Pharmacology highlighted that curcumin can interact with liver enzymes like CYP3A4, the same pathway responsible for processing fats and medications. When the liver is already slowed by saturated fat intake, the result is congestion, not detoxification. If you love using turmeric in curries, switch the base from ghee or butter to olive oil or avocado oil. These monounsaturated fats are easier on the liver and actually improve curcumin uptake without slowing clearance. Number 2, pickled or fermented foods with high acidity. Turmeric and acidic foods are a tricky combination. Items like pickles, sauerkraut, kimchi, and vinegar-based dishes may support gut health in moderation, but their high acidity destabilizes curcumin. When you combine the two, the acid environment breaks down curcumin molecules before they can reach your intestines, rendering them less effective and more irritating to your gut lining. Older adults often have thinning mucosal barriers in the gut. If turmeric is exposed to acid prematurely, it can form reactive compounds that aggravate the intestinal wall. Over time, this contributes to a phenomenon known as leaky gut, which allows inflammatory molecules to enter the bloodstream and burden your immune system. For safe use, space your turmeric and fermented foods apart by at least 2 hours. If you are drinking apple cider vinegar in the morning, wait before taking your turmeric supplement or golden milk. Number 3, iron-rich animal foods. This category includes organ meats like liver, as well as red meat, shellfish, and iron-fortified cereals. Curcumin binds strongly to iron molecules, a property that can be helpful in cases of iron overload, but harmful when you need stable iron balance. After 60, iron regulation becomes more delicate because ferritin levels can rise while usable iron declines. When turmeric binds dietary iron, it prevents absorption in the small intestine. If this continues over time, it can contribute to low hemoglobin, fatigue, or brittle nails, classic signs of mild iron deficiency. Conversely, if you have excess stored iron, turmeric can mobilize too much at once, leading to oxidative stress in the liver. A study in the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry found that curcumin inhibits the activity of ferroportin, a protein responsible for moving iron from cells into circulation. That means turmeric can trap iron inside cells, disrupting your natural balance. To use turmeric safely, separate it from high iron meals by at least 3 to 4 hours. Use it with plant-based meals that include leafy greens, cruciferous vegetables, or legumes. These enhance detoxification pathways without disturbing mineral balance. Let me simplify this visually. Imagine turmeric as a skilled worker that wants to repair inflammation. When you pair it with heavy fat acid or iron, it is like forcing that worker to build while carrying extra weight in bad weather and without tools. The result is stress, not healing. If this content is bringing clarity, consider subscribing. I post new insights like this every day to help you understand your body's chemistry and make smarter choices for longevity. Here is what is really happening inside your body when turmeric is combined with the wrong foods after 60. To understand why the same spice that once helped your joints and digestion can now cause fatigue, bloating, or even hormonal imbalance, we need to look at three key systems that begin to change with age: the gut, the liver, and the hormonal network that links them. Let us start with the gut-liver axis. Think of your gut and liver as two close partners that share every responsibility. The gut absorbs, the liver processes. When the gut barrier weakens with age, larger molecules such as incompletely digested proteins, toxins, and bacterial fragments can leak into the bloodstream. The liver then has to neutralize them, which is like assigning a small factory the workload of a large one. When turmeric is introduced in this context, its compounds stimulate bile flow and liver enzymes. That is normally helpful, but if the gut is leaky, the liver is already overburdened, and the added stimulation from turmeric can become counterproductive. Now imagine you combine turmeric with a fatty, acidic, or iron-rich meal. The digestive burden rises sharply. Fatty foods slow bile flow. Acidic foods increase oxidative stress in the intestinal lining. Iron catalyzes free radical formation. When turmeric interacts with these stressors, the liver's detoxification phases, known as phase 1 and phase 2, can fall out of sync. Phase 1 generates reactive intermediates. Phase 2 neutralizes them. If phase 2 cannot keep up, those intermediates circulate in your blood longer, increasing oxidative damage to tissues. In younger bodies, the glutathione and enzyme systems catch up quickly. In the over 60 body, where antioxidant reserves are lower, the imbalance lingers. Research published in Nutrients Journal in 2023 confirmed that curcumin can both suppress and stimulate these detox enzymes depending on dose and dietary context. At moderate doses and with healthy liver function, it acts as an antioxidant. At higher concentrations or when combined with heavy fats, it may paradoxically act as a pro-oxidant, especially in aging cells. Let me give you a whiteboard-style visual. Picture a seesaw. On one side is phase 1, generating reactive molecules. On the other is phase 2, neutralizing them. Turmeric naturally tips the seesaw toward more activity on both sides. But when your liver is older, sluggish, or loaded with other tasks, the seesaw tips unevenly and oxidative stress wins. Next comes the hormonal connection. Your liver is not just a detox organ, it also regulates estrogen, thyroid hormones, and cortisol metabolism. When you overload your liver through poor turmeric combinations, hormone clearance slows. That can manifest as fatigue, weight gain, brain fog, or stubborn belly fat, symptoms that many older adults mistakenly blame on just aging. Curcumin itself interacts with certain hormone receptors, including estrogen receptors. Studies from molecular nutrition and food research show that high curcumin levels can mildly inhibit estrogen signaling. For younger individuals, that may be protective. But for postmenopausal women or older men with already shifting hormone levels, it can worsen imbalance, especially when the liver's capacity to clear hormones is reduced. So when turmeric meets the wrong foods, here is the cascade. Fatty foods strain the liver, acidic foods disrupt the gut barrier, iron-rich foods generate free radicals, and the combination drives oxidative stress, hormonal imbalance, and sluggish detoxification. The net effect? Instead of lowering inflammation, turmeric under these conditions can increase it. Here is how to protect yourself. 1. Always take turmeric with a clean, simple meal, ideally steamed or lightly cooked vegetables with a small amount of olive oil. 2. Support your liver by including foods that boost glutathione and bile flow, such as broccoli sprouts, garlic, and lemon water. 3. Strengthen your gut barrier with adequate fiber, zinc, and probiotic-rich foods. but separate fermented or acidic foods from your turmeric intake by a few hours. These small timing and pairing changes can transform turmeric from a risky trigger back into the healing ally it was meant to be. As we move deeper, it is essential to talk about a topic that is often overlooked: how turmeric interacts with common medications, particularly after the age of 60. Many people at this stage of life use daily prescriptions for blood pressure, cholesterol, arthritis, or blood sugar. These drugs share the same detoxification pathways that turmeric and its active compound, curcumin, use inside the liver. This overlap can cause unintended consequences when turmeric is combined with certain foods. Here's what is really going on inside your body. Your liver relies on a family of enzymes known as cytochrome P450, which handle the breakdown of most drugs and phytochemicals. Curcumin can either inhibit or stimulate these enzymes depending on the context, dose, timing, and food combination. If you eat turmeric alongside the wrong foods, such as high-fat animal dishes or acidic meals, the curcumin is absorbed differently, resulting in unpredictable blood levels that may interfere with how your medications work. For example, let us consider blood thinners such as warfarin or clopidogrel. Curcumin naturally reduces platelet aggregation, the process that helps blood clot. While that is beneficial in moderation, combining turmeric with these drugs can double the anticoagulant effect, increasing the risk of bruising or internal bleeding. A review in Drug Metabolism Reviews found that curcumin's inhibitory action on platelet function becomes stronger when taken with fatty foods because absorption spikes. That is why, for anyone on blood thinners, pairing turmeric with a heavy meal is risky. It increases curcumin bioavailability just enough to amplify drug effects dangerously. Next, consider statins, which are used to lower cholesterol. These drugs are metabolized through the same CYP3A4 pathway in the liver that curcumin influences. When turmeric is consumed with saturated fats or iron-rich foods, the liver's detox enzymes slow, delaying statin breakdown. The result can be muscle soreness, fatigue, or elevated liver enzymes. Now, let us look at metformin and other blood sugar-lowering medications. Curcumin itself improves insulin sensitivity, which sounds positive, but when combined with certain food pairings, the absorption of both metformin and curcumin can fluctuate dramatically. Research from the Journal of Clinical Pharmacology noted that high-fat meals delay metformin absorption while enhancing curcumin uptake, leading to uneven blood sugar control. For someone over 60, whose insulin regulation is already more fragile, that swing can cause lightheadedness or energy crashes. To visualize this, imagine your liver as a multitasking traffic controller. Every drug and nutrient you take is a car entering the highway. When turmeric enters the mix, it adds another stream of traffic. If the road is clear, meaning your meal is light and your liver is supported, the system flows smoothly. But if the highway is already jammed with heavy fats, iron, and medications, the turmeric becomes one more vehicle causing congestion and confusion. So what is the safe way forward? If you are taking daily medications, space your turmeric intake 3 to 4 hours apart from your prescription doses. Take turmeric on a light stomach or with a plant-based fat like olive oil. Never take it at the same meal as your medications unless approved by your healthcare provider. Also, keep in mind that dosage matters. Many older adults assume that more turmeric means more benefit, but this is not true. Studies show that smaller, consistent doses, such as 250 to 500 milligrams of standardized curcumin, support anti-inflammatory balance without overburdening the liver. And once again, if this content is giving you practical clarity, consider subscribing. I post educational videos like this every day to help you understand the deeper science behind food, hormones, and metabolism, so you can make safer, smarter choices for lifelong health. Now that you understand why turmeric can become risky when combined with certain foods or medications, let us focus on the most important question. How can you continue using turmeric safely after 60 while preserving all its remarkable benefits for your brain, joints, and longevity? Here's the good news. Turmeric is not the enemy. The problem lies in context and timing. When used intelligently, turmeric can still reduce inflammation, improve circulation, support your liver, and even enhance cognitive health. The key is to give your body the right environment to metabolize it properly. Let us begin with timing. After 60, your digestive efficiency slows and your liver performs detoxification most actively in the morning hours. That means the best time to take turmeric, whether in food or supplement form, is between breakfast and lunch. This allows the curcumin to move through your digestive system when bile flow is naturally higher, ensuring efficient absorption and safe clearance. Avoid taking turmeric late at night when your metabolism slows and liver enzymes are less active. Next, let us talk about pairing. As we discussed earlier, turmeric is fat soluble, meaning it needs some fat to be absorbed. However, the type of fat makes all the difference. Use plant-based fats such as extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil, or a few slices of avocado. These fats are easy on the liver and promote smooth curcumin transport. Avoid pairing turmeric with butter, ghee, or fried foods. Those combinations create metabolic congestion rather than healing. To enhance turmeric's bioavailability safely, combine it with black pepper. Black pepper contains a compound called piperine, which can increase curcumin absorption by up to 2,000%. Piperine works by gently slowing the liver's breakdown of curcumin, not blocking it entirely, but allowing more time for your body to use it. A pinch of black pepper in your turmeric tea, soup, or smoothie is enough. Now, let us address meal composition. If you are adding turmeric to your meals, do so in dishes that are light and plant-centered, such as lentil soup, vegetable curry, or sautéed greens. These foods contain natural antioxidants and fibers that support detoxification without overloading the digestive system. Avoid adding turmeric to meals that are acidic, like those containing vinegar or pickles, or high in iron, like red meat or organ meats. For supplementation, look for curcumin formulated with phospholipids, often labeled as Mariva or curcumin phytosome. These forms are more stable in the aging digestive tract and less likely to burden the liver. A typical safe range for adults over 60 is 250 to 500 milligrams per day, taken with food. Hydration is another overlooked factor. Curcumin metabolism generates waste compounds that the liver and kidneys must eliminate. If you are dehydrated, these byproducts can linger, increasing the burden on both organs. Aim for 6 to 8 glasses of clean water daily, spaced throughout the day, not all at once. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Think of turmeric as a natural fire extinguisher for inflammation. But for it to work properly, your metabolic engine must be running smoothly. The oil, your fats, the filters, your liver, and the cooling system, your hydration, all need to be in balance. When these systems work together, turmeric becomes an ally again, not a trigger. Finally, remember that consistency matters more than quantity. Small daily amounts of turmeric, used wisely, support cumulative healing. Massive doses taken irregularly can overwhelm an older liver. In functional medicine, balance and rhythm are more powerful than intensity. Let us bring everything together. Over the course of this discussion, you have learned that turmeric, while celebrated for its anti-inflammatory and antioxidant power, behaves very differently in the body after the age of 60. The difference is not in the spice itself, it is in the body's capacity to handle it. Here is what is really going on inside your body. As you age, your liver slows its detoxification, your bile flow decreases, and your gut barrier becomes more sensitive. That means turmeric, especially when combined with the wrong foods, can either support healing or quietly add to your metabolic burden. We began by exploring how aging changes the liver's ability to process curcumin, the active compound in turmeric. We learned that poor bile flow and lower glutathione reserves can cause curcumin to linger too long, forcing your liver to work harder instead of healing faster. We then saw how certain food combinations amplify this stress. Fatty meats, acidic or pickled foods, and iron-rich animal products all interfere with turmeric's absorption or stability, turning a beneficial compound into a pro-oxidant one. Then we looked deeper into the gut-liver axis and hormone metabolism to understand why these interactions become more dangerous with age. A leaky gut allows toxins to enter the bloodstream, while a burdened liver struggles to neutralize them. Hormones like estrogen and cortisol build up, slowing metabolism and fueling inflammation. Add turmeric to this unstable system, and the same spice that once healed inflammation may now intensify it. We also uncovered turmeric's hidden interactions with medications. Blood thinners, statins, and diabetes drugs all share detox pathways with curcumin. When turmeric is taken with certain foods or at the wrong time, it can alter drug metabolism, raising or lowering blood levels unpredictably. This is why dosage, timing, and spacing are critical. But the story does not end there, because when used correctly, turmeric remains one of the most valuable tools for aging well. You can still benefit from its anti-inflammatory, brain protective, and immune supportive effects if you use it intelligently. Here is your safe protocol. Simplified. Take turmeric or curcumin between breakfast and lunch, with a light meal that includes plant-based fats such as olive oil or avocado. Add a small pinch of black pepper to enhance absorption naturally. Avoid pairing it with heavy animal fats, pickled or acidic foods, and iron-rich meals. Stay hydrated throughout the day to help your liver clear waste efficiently. And if you take medications, space turmeric at least 3 to 4 hours apart unless otherwise directed by your healthcare provider. Let me leave you with a simple analogy. Your metabolism is like a symphony. Every organ, the liver, gut, pancreas, and hormones plays its part. When the instruments are tuned and in rhythm, turmeric acts as a beautiful note of harmony. But if the system is off balance, the same note becomes noise. The goal is not to abandon turmeric, but to help your body play in tune again. So here is my challenge for you. Starting today, observe how you use turmeric. Try separating it from heavy or acidic meals for 1 week. Support your liver with green vegetables, hydration, and gentle movement. Track how your digestion and energy feel. Most people notice clearer focus, lighter digestion, and better sleep within days. And remember, longevity is not about doing more. It is about doing what is right for your body's current state. When you learn to listen to your metabolism, every spice, every meal, and every choice becomes medicine. If this message added value for you, like this video and subscribe to join others who are learning to heal naturally through food, science, and self-awareness. Together, we will continue uncovering the truth about how the body really works and how to keep it thriving well beyond 60.